This is the Farmington Feed, bringing you information from the City of Farmington.
Hi, and welcome back to the Farmington Feed. I'm Caryn Hajnicki, the city's communications specialist, and I'm hungry for another episode of the Feed. We have Kristie Kerr and Holly Shearer with us today to discuss the hometown celebration Due Days. Welcome.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Excited to have you guys.
Excited to be here.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to focus on Due Days because that's coming up really quick.
It is.
Should we be excited or frightened?
I don't know. It depends on the day.
Yes.
Maybe a little of both.
Yes.
There's so many questions I have.
Okay.
Although I did experience some of it last year, not
good.
all of it. And I'm sure there's new people to town that don't know anything about it. Mm-hmm. So here we are. So this event has been going on for 45 years, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 1979
Wow.
was the first Due Days. And it was Mountain Dew Days. back
Right.
then.
So what's the deal with that?
Well, back in the day, PepsiCo came to the city of Farmington and said, "Hey, you guys, do you know that you drink the most Mountain Dew per capita in the nation?"
Okay.
Right. And so they said, "We will give you sponsorships if you host Mountain Dew Days as
Okay.
a celebration." And that's where it all began.
Okay. So Mountain Dew.
They don't sponsor us anymore.
Right.
It's so
I don't-
sad. We've tried.
Yeah, and I don't think we drink the most
I
Mountain
was
Dew
going to say, do
anyway.
they still drink a lot of Mountain Dew around
Yeah.
here?
No, hence the Due Days. I think they cut off the mountain.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, that's
Once the
cool.
money stopped coming.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys got started. Holly, you want to start?
Oh, sure.
Involvement, I mean.
Right. So my oldest was selected as a 2006 Miss Farmington. So I have a little taste there. But then in 2011, when my youngest was selected as Miss Farmington, I got more of a taste there and was asked to sit on the board of the Farmington Ambassador Group. And from there was, sit in on the meetings for Due Days. And then it just snowballed on me.
All of a
and
sudden you're in charge.
Yes.
Co-chair, right?
And here I am today. Yes.
Kristie, how about you?
Well, I pastor Homestead Community Church with my husband, so I've lived in Farmington for 20 years, but our church has been in the area for 10 years, and so we've always, been a part of it. We've always had teams in the bed races, and so when we bought the Exchange Bank building in downtown Farmington in 2019, we started kind of getting more involved. So my husband served on the committee for a few years just because we're right there.
Right.
And we're like, everybody's right here. We might as well be involved. And so we've really looked, our church is very community minded. We want to always be a part of how can we help and serve in the community. And
Right.
so last year I decided to jump on the committee and help out, and then got a bigger role.
Yes, it snowballs.
It snowballed quickly, but it's okay because I've had a blast. It has been so much fun. I love Farmington is such a unique community in that it really still feels like a small town.
Right.
And Due Days is the epitome of that. It really feels like a small town festival when everybody comes together. And I was reading a study a few years ago about after COVID and how people kind of went in their corners. Everybody was really isolated. And it was talking about the importance of communal experiences.
Right.
Of people experiencing things together, having shared experiences. And so this is just such an important time that our whole community comes together. The businesses help run things, the fire department, the police department, the schools, the community organizations, they all come together and are enjoying the same things over the weekend. So to me, it's an incredible value to the community. And so I've just loved being a part of it.
Well, it sounds like that's part of why this tradition has gone on for so
Yeah.
long, because everybody supports it and
Yeah.
is involved.
Yeah.
Well, it does take a village, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Especially to run a big event like this. So you guys always need volunteers. So how do you recruit them? How do you keep them? How do you keep it running smoothly?
Yeah, so this year we instituted a new part of Due Days called Dollars for Doers, which is actually new. If you're around, you know how many community organizations we have that are trying to fundraise all the time. So from
Right.
sports teams to other organizations. Part of our mission statement is to support community groups and a sense of community in Farmington. So we felt like this would be a great way to kind of help some groups. So we have openings for groups to come in and serve as volunteers at Due Days, and then we track their hours, and at the end we'll make a donation back to their organization.
Oh, okay, that's great.
So we're doing that. Everybody's very busy, so finding just people that can come and run a bouncy house is harder to do. So we decided to kind of be strategic about it and make it something that then also still supports things in the community. But we also have a large committee that has worked all year, meeting monthly, all year long, just different parts of the community that serve and volunteer. So we have people that volunteer, to help plan the whole thing and the time of, but we're excited about Dollars for Doers this year. That's kind of a new thing.
Oh, for sure. Like getting an organization to come, because if you have an organization, they can recruit their own, right?
Yes.
And say, we're going to have this many people here, and it's really helpful all around.
Yeah.
And they get a little donation on the end.
Many hands make light work.
Yeah. Then I don't have to buy so many of those little cards when they come to my door, because I can't say no.
Right.
Like 10 for all the sports
Oh,
teams.
like where you get discounts at different places, right?
Yes. And then I forget I have them. So we're hoping
Right?
that we can help it out this year.
So do you have any super volunteers, like people that are just literally there all weekend, aside from the committee and yourselves?
Gary Rutherford sits on the
sure.
committee, but
Yes.
he's a diehard. He'll be
Yeah.
there from sun up to sundown for
Chief.
sure. It seems like Josh Hoyt will probably show up from
Of
sun
course.
up to sundown.
I hear he's usually the one that wants to keep the band going longer.
Yes, he's guilty of that.
I mean, when I think, now they're on our committee, but Dave and Doreen Kennedy, I mean, I think they're on every committee in Farmington, but Doreen, we were just talking about, Doreen knows everything about Farmington. She knows everything that's ever been done. She knows every organization.
So maybe she needs to be on our next episode.
You need
talk
to
about
have
history.
her, because I just asked her, Doreen, is anybody writing down all the stuff that you know? Because she remembers everything. And so she serves on our committee, and she just, man, the logistical mind and the history. And so she knows everybody. She's connected. I don't do anything until Doreen tells me. Yes, so that she's my super volunteer for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sponsors are a huge part of this community event. So can you explain a little about the importance of them and how you can become a sponsor if you're not already?
Well, right now, I counted this morning, we have 32 sponsors as of right now. What's important is, this is a nonprofit group. So the Farmington Area Enhancement Group is who puts on due days. I think sometimes people think the city puts it on, but it's actually
it's not.
No, it's a nonprofit group that works all year long. And so, we do generate some revenue through some of the things, but the majority of the overhead to put on due days, to get the tent up and to get the streets blocked off and to purchase all the signage and everything that we do, that costs money. And so the Farmington businesses really show up and donate to help cover a lot of that overhead. So it really wouldn't be possible without it.
For sure.
It doesn't come from tax dollars or any kind of big bucket of money somewhere at the city. It really comes from the people of Farmington investing back into helping create this festival. So we have a page on our website where you can find out more about how to be a sponsor. There's all kinds of different levels. And then in turn, we get to highlight them on our marketing materials. We get to highlight them throughout the event. And again, it's a win-win. It helps give visibility to the amazing businesses in our community.
Right.
And they help us to be able to put on an event for the people in Farmington.
And that your website is farmingtonmnduedays.com, right?
Yes.
It changed a little bit from last year.
Yeah. So we added the MN in there. So give that a whirl if you're finding it.
For sure. I had a problem getting on even the MN one, and we were so confused, like, what's happening?
I know. It's been kind of
Which is probably
issue.
super frustrating for you guys, because then you can't get your word out.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes. But then you can always email info@farmingtonduedays.com, and we get those emails, and we'll be happy to respond. Lots of, hey, I can't find this, and we can help you get connected.
Oh, awesome.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure there's new events this year outside of the Dollar for Doers. You guys want to talk about any of those?
Oh, yeah. Friday night,
Yes.
we're going to have a family block party, which includes a movie. So
Ooh.
that's, I know.
Do we know what movie yet? Or
It's
is
the
it a surprise?
Sandlot. They just let me know. Yes. So that's going to be on the Homestead lot. So that'll be outside, and you can bring your blankets and sleeping bags and watch it outside.
Oh, how
And-
fun.
Yep. So that's going to
one
be
of my
fun.
favorite
I
movies.
know.
Classic family movie.
Yes, so Farmington Young Life is sponsoring that, so that was what they picked, and I'm like, solid choice, good job. So the family block party Friday night will be like a dance party. We've got tons of giveaways for the kids and things like that.
Yep, we'll have a actual tractor drive, similar to the car drive that comes, but a tractor drive, and then they'll come
Oh, like a cruise show kind of.
right, and they'll come downtown and park for the kids to all see.
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
yeah. So Saturday, we're kind of highlighting the agricultural side of our community because it's really fun. We do have kind of the city part of Farmington and the suburb part, but we have a ton of people that are still involved in the agricultural side of our city. And so they've really engaged this year. So they're doing a corn pit. We're kind of Saturday night, we're having a big hoedown. So
Oh, boy.
Yes.
we have a live band coming. We're going to have a street dance downtown, a mechanical bull, a Wild West shootout. We're having a tractor pull during the day.
Yes. Yep.
For
FAA
kids.
is going to bring
Yeah.
in farm animals.
Yeah. Petting
Okay,
zoo.
for those that don't know what FAA is.
Future, it's
Or FFA, sorry.
There we go.
Yeah.
Future Farmers of America.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and the alumni is who's doing the tractor drive. So,
Okay.
and the kids will be able to come see. They have antique tractors and the big tractors, so that's kind of a fun thing.
Oh, nice.
And then another really cool event is Marshall Lines does what's called Big Rig, which is Friday night before the bed races downtown, and they are bringing in a ton of like big trucks and things like that for kids to be able to go see. So that's kind of a part. Too. He's done that the last couple of years, but so I think sometimes people don't know that there's that event going on too.
What location is that
It's at Marshall Lines.
Oh, it's at their place.
Yeah,
Okay.
on Highway
Correct.
50.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
All right.
and he's been very excited that you can drive a school bus there. If that's always been one of your lifelong dreams,
Oh.
you can drive a school bus during the Big Rig event.
Oh, how
I know
fun.
Holly is very excited to try.
I've not done it yet, but I might this year.
That sounds really fun. So, how do you decide on the events that are going to happen each year? I mean, there's some obviously
that's
that
a good
always
question.
happen, right?
Correct. Obviously, there's popular ones that are tradition that, people really demand that come back. And after that, I think it just comes from a lot of input from the community and people who come on the committee, and maybe we see something at another festival or things like that ideas start swirling in the fall about what next year's 2 days will look like.
Okay. I know there's something for everyone.
Yes, definitely.
How many of these events can you name in 15 seconds?
We were talking
Oh,
about
I
that.
bet I could do a lot.
All right. I'm going to put the timer on.
Okay, let me start.
You have to say go.
Or you
We'll-
just want me to
we'll
start?
rapid fire.
Okay,
You go.
I'll go and then you go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Coronation.
Thirsty Thursday.
Bingo.
Bed races.
Family movie night.
Big Rig.
The due days run.
Family block party.
There's a waffle breakfast.
All right. That's 15 seconds.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, I know, right? But you got like nine events. So, I mean,
That was harder than I thought. My brain started to panic.
right? I mean, you got to know all your events, right?
No, I stare at them all day long. So it's funny how my brain short circuited a little bit.
And I put the pressure on. That's okay.
The timer.
All right, so this is really what I wanted to talk about because I thought this event is hilarious, interesting, and probably like just fun for everybody. Is Kiss the Pig.
Kiss the Pig.
It's a favorite.
It's a fan favorite.
I thought so. So I did get to witness it last year, so I do understand what happens. But for those that don't, that are listening, how does that work?
Sure. It's a fundraiser for the Rambling River Center, which is our senior center. It's been going on, it's got to be older than the year 2000.
Okay.
We'll figure that
We'll have
out.
to ask
How
Doreen.
long you've been doing it?
Yes, exactly. But it's definitely 2000 and older.
Okay.
But it's an event that they put donation cans out at area businesses. And so when you're there, let's say at Dairy Queen, and you buy your dilly bar and you have an extra 15 cents, you can put it in the can. And it's a contest. And whoever raises the most money then gets the benefit of kissing the pig.
Right. Okay, but now there's an online option as well.
There is.
Yes,
you
I
can give
love it.
online.
Missy was really excited about that.
Yes.
So
And it's on the website. So
Yep.
you can go on there and vote for whoever you want by giving online.
yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so how are the challengers decided, and do they get nominated, or how does that work?
Missy Colbeck is the ultimate decider.
Oh,
so
okay.
Either don't get on her
yes.
good side or don't get on her bad side. I don't know if it's the honor or punishment.
I mean, last year they did like handcuffs, and then it was like
Yes.
whoever's key unlocked, right?
Yes.
Was the winner.
Regretfully, when Gary put the cuffs on me, I was like, what is this all about? Because I was
Yes.
not informed what was going
So
on.
they don't always do that.
No, it's different every year how
Oh.
they reveal the winner.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
always
different type of skit that they come up with.
Oh, okay. And I know that the pig is Betty, and that Betty was there last year.
Yes.
Yep.
So we're excited about Betty coming back.
Betty's really something.
Very hairy.
It's very hairy pig.
Yeah. And I know Pam McCarthy won last year.
Yes,
Who do you
yes.
guys think is going to win this year?
That's really tough. When I looked at the list, I'm like, thank goodness I ran last year and not this year.
Yeah.
So it's a tough field.
I would lean towards Bradley Mariska.
Well, there was some
for the band.
comments on him
Yeah.
once I posted that.
Yeah, I'm guessing that he's gonna. Yeah, that he'll take it, but you never know. Sometimes you're surprised.
I'm Gary. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
yes.
Gary
Okay,
Rutherford.
Chief.
I'm sorry. I'm going to be cheering for you.
Yeah. Well, last year my husband Jeff was one of them, and it was so fun because the kids in our church were like on a mission, and they would come up to him just mocking him. We put $5 in your can.
Oh, that's
like
too
they were
funny.
so excited. So it really is a fun
It is.
part of the event that everyone enjoys.
Okay, so then let's go and talk about what your favorite part of Due Days is.
Oh, okay.
Holly, you want to go first?
It's definitely community and coming together and, being a part of Farmington for so long. You're involved in different groups along your life's path. And some of these people you might not see for quite some time that maybe were close to you when your kids were in soccer as an 11-year-old. And all of a sudden you see them at Due Days, and it's so fun to reconnect with everybody that you don't typically get to run into, on a daily or weekly basis. That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
What about you, Kristie?
I love the parade.
Okay.
I just think it's such a fun part of it to see all the people in the community show up and to walk down the streets and in our idyllic downtown. It's like out of a movie. I mean, honestly, it's just so sweet. You have everybody sitting along, all the businesses show up and are handing out candy, and it's fun to see all of the different parts of the community together. And I think the parade is the part where you actually get to see them all. There's all kinds of events during Due Days where different places are highlighted, but at the parade, it's like one by one, you get to see all the really cool things that make Farmington special.
Well, let's hope it doesn't rain like it did last year.
We just made it last year.
I was going to say, you haven't lived here long because that's almost tradition for us.
It rains on the parade day.
About 50% usually. And I've been involved in the parade since 2011, and it will pour. And by some miracle, the minute
It really
it
did
steps
stop on
off,
time.
it stops raining.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
happened many years.
It's
Yeah,
a
that
Due
was
Days
crazy.
miracle.
Yes.
Most events are free, but I know there's some that cost a little bit of cash. Are there any that you want to highlight just to remind people that they need money for?
Yeah, there's a lot of free events. There's a lot of things that are open to everybody, but there are a few things where you're going to need to have a little extra cash. So the food trucks, the artisan market, the vendors, obviously you're going to have to purchase things there. But then our family fun zone where there's inflatables and games for the kids.
Oh, fun.
Those are going to be, you'll have to purchase a wristband or time for that to be able to do that. And then some of the extra stuff like the bowl, you're gonna have to pay a little bit,
Yep.
but it's not, it's nothing huge. And hopefully we've made a lot of free things that everybody can be involved in. And then there's just, if you want to do some of those extra things, you might want to bring a little extra cash. And we'll have some extra cash machines going downtown.
Okay.
And new this year, all of our vendors will have digital payment methods.
Oh,
so
perfect.
You can
For
bring
people
cards.
like me.
Yes, I know.
I
'Cause
never
who
have
has
cash.
I know. So this we put that in the contracts this year. So everyone should be able to take your cards.
Oh, awesome.
This year. Yeah.
Parking, I'm sure it's an issue. What
Yeah.
do you guys recommend or suggest to attendees that are planning on coming down?
Come early and wear comfortable shoes.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you can park in any of the city parking lots. There's lots of street parking. There's different places. The general downtown area will be closed, so you'll have to park a little bit outside of the general area and then walk. Some people have parked over at Bachman and walked over. So it's not, it's not far either way. But yes, parking is always a challenge. So God be with you.
Get those walking shoes on.
Get your
That's
good
right.
shoes on. Or make somebody drop you off.
I like that.
Oh, I like that a
feels
lot.
better. Yeah. Maybe next year we should have a dollars for doer valet system. Maybe.
Maybe.
That's what
Oh, well, there you go.
somebody
Make a little extra money
somebody make
by-
a little extra money.
Yeah.
Like at the fair when everyone parks on their lawns and stuff.
Right.
It's a state fair.
All right. So this is my favorite question to always ask
Okay.
on every podcast is like, what's the funniest thing that's happened? So usually it's in somebody's position, but now I'm going to ask you guys, what's the funniest thing that's happened at Due Days that you can remember?
The one that I remember the most had to deal with rain. It was in 2012, the 2012 parade, and it poured again, and it stopped right before parade stepped off. And towards the front of the parade was a semi, and the rain had rained so hard that one of the electrical lines was sagging. And the truck hit the electrical line, which then made the parade completely divert down different roads, and the people scrambling from other areas that the parade wasn't going to get to those other streets. It was pretty entertaining.
Goodness.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I don't have a funny story yet. Maybe I will after this year.
Oh, I'm going to guarantee it.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so any other information you guys think is important for people to know about due days, how to get around, how to pay for stuff, any of that? I mean, we covered most of it, but anything we missed?
I would say follow our social medias. We're doing lots of posts about the specific events. So we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. There's lots of information there that you can find. And then on the website, there's event lineups. There's all kinds of information on there. But just come once and then come back. We have jam-packed the schedule full from really Thursday night. And there's a couple things that happen earlier in the week, like the ambassadors. And then the library does a few events for kids earlier in the week. But we've jam-packed the whole weekend so that you can come, and then one thing will lead into another. It will lead into another.
Just plan on staying the whole time.
Plan on staying.
I agree.
Eat
I
breakfast,
agree.
lunch, dinner. We got you covered.
We will be there.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll see you around.
Yeah. So there'll be, even from Saturday morning, the waffle breakfast. Then we have the kids' Jolly Pop. So in the morning, we've scheduled a lot of stuff for younger kids in the mornings, just so that they can kind of get their fun and then go home and have a nap. And then there's stuff going on in the afternoons. We have the hoedown Saturday evening, and then the live band under the big tent for the grown-ups will be going into the late hours. So there's something for everybody. So just check out all of our sites and social media.
Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yes,
this was
thank
fun.
you.
Before I wrap up today's episode, I want to share a few items. The city-sponsored events at Due Days are including Thirsty Thursday, which is Thursday, June 20th, from 6 to 9 p.m. under the big tent. That costs $15, correct?
Yes.
Annual police bike auction is Saturday, June 22nd. Viewing starts at 11 a.m. and the bidding will start at 11:30. And our Model Railroad Club will be open to visitors at the Rambling River Center, June 22nd, again on Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And of course, Kiss the Pig, we talked about that. That will be Saturday, June 22nd at 4 p.m. under the big tent. So don't forget to vote for your challenger that you want to see kiss that pig. More information can be found on our website too, farmingtonmn.gov, or like we said, the Due Days website, farmingtonmnduedays.com. Well, that concludes this month's episode of the Farmington Feed. Thank you for listening. We look forward to connecting with residents with this podcast. If you have any feedback, guest requests, or ideas, email me at communications@farmingtonmn.gov. Don't forget to subscribe to the Farmington Feed wherever you like to get your podcasts.